We have been waiting 207 days since the Super Bowl. We have finally made it. The 2025 NFL season is upon us. We are talking all things primetime games for week 1 of the NFL season. Let's get into it. Welcome back into the Gridiron, everybody. My name is Kyle. I am joined, of course, by Justin. We are talking all things NFL football. It's back. It's beautiful. We have got games to talk about, games that are meaningful. Week 1 of the 2025 season is upon us. We're going to be talking about our primetime games as well as the Sao Paulo game between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Los Angeles Chargers. Before we get into all of that, I've got to shout out our amazing sponsor at Vivid Seats, because guess what? Football's back. That means it's time for you to get yourself to Vivid Seats if you want to go see your favorite team for the 2025 season. I am talking about the best ticket buying platform on the market. Guaranteed seats, ticket insurance, the most ridiculous prices. And if you use the link in our description, you will save even more money. So thank you to Vivid Seats for sponsoring this episode now. We've been waiting 207 days. And it's here. Football's back. It's beautiful. I know everyone's always like, college football counts. No, it doesn't. It's happening right now as we're recording, and I don't care. I'll probably throw it on in the background eventually, but real football, grown-up football is back, and I am so thrilled about it. What I am not thrilled about, though, and I've just got to get right into this. What the hell?
How about them Cowboys?
How about them Cowboys? They have traded away Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers in exchange for defensive tackle Kenny Clark, or what's left of him, and 2 future first-round picks. The Packers also signed a $47 million AAV contract for Parsons over 4 years. That's a ridiculous amount of money. I'm furious. There's no other way around it. I bet you're just thrilled to bits as a Giants fan. What in the hell is Jerry Jones doing?
So, just to put into context for the viewers, Kyle is a diehard Chicago Bears fan. He's now got to deal with Micah Parsons twice a year. I, of course, am a diehard Giants fan, and I no longer have to deal with Micah Parsons twice a year. But getting into the actual story, what this was about, it had nothing to do with football. It had nothing to really do with business. This was all personal, in my opinion. Jerry Jones, who is a very successful businessman, a very successful deal maker, kind of got himself fleeced. And he did so because he tried to use backhanded tactics, not negotiating in good faith, trying to go around Micah Parsons' representation to try to sign him for $40 million. Or I think the deal said was like at $40.7 million.
41 and a half or something.
Yeah, something like that. And because Micah smartly said, talk to my agent, and that's between y'all to negotiate, Jerry didn't want to do it. And Jerry Jones is notorious for waiting until the last possible minute to sign his stars. Think about CD, think about Dak. But this is different because usually he never lets stars leave. This is the first time he actually did it. And now he's going on this little media circus talking about how this was in the workings for a while. There was discussions about this since the spring. But here's the problem. You traded him now when if you had done it in the spring, you could have gotten way more out of this. The fact that they only got 2 most likely late first round picks, because it's the Packers, they're going to find a way to make the playoffs, and a 29, almost 30-year-old Kenny Clark, and then you shipped away your best player who is only 26. Jerry Jones, we will see in the next 5 years how this turns out. I think it's a dud. Most of America thinks this is a complete fleece job by the Green Bay Packers, but time is only going to tell how this goes. But let's talk about that contract, because that's the real big kicker. Micah Parsons signed a contract that is 4 years and about $180 something million. That's fine. We've seen contracts like that. He is the highest paid person that is not a quarterback right now. The shocking part is that 135 of that is fully guaranteed, and 120 of that was guaranteed at signing. So now this puts the Green Bay Packers at quite a position because they're not used to doing this. They're not used to drafting a receiver in the first round, which they did with Matthew Golden. They're not used to signing star players, whether it's in free agency or the trade market, because they're mostly the team that's known for drafting and developing. They are making a statement that they are going all in on this season or in the next 1 to 2 seasons.
No,
so,
and they're completely buying into the cash over cap phenomenon that the Eagles have mastered throughout these last few off seasons, and they backed up so much cash for Micah Parsons. Good for him.
You backed up the Brinks truck right there.
That's ridiculous. And I mean, forget 5 years to see how it plays out. We're going to see how it plays out as the first game, because our season opener is Dallas at Philadelphia for Thursday Night Football. And I don't know if you know a whole lot about the reigning Super Bowls champions offensive line. They're pretty good. Lane Johnson, not bad.
Yeah. I hate saying it that they are good because it's Philadelphia. And as much as I hate the Cowboys, I also hate Philly even more, just a bit more.
I think Jalen Hurts is going to be napping in the pocket.
But here's the thing. And I'm usually not a superstitious man, but I'm going to be superstitious for this one. They have to contend with 2 curses, 3 technically now. Super Bowl hangover, the Madden cover curse, a la Saquon Barkley. And there is now a new Offensive Player of the Year curse, which is like 4 years running where Offensive Player of the Year kind of had a downturn the year after.
Very true. Very true.
So we're going to see what kind of luck is in the city of brotherly love, because you're kind of contending with a lot. But in this game, it's going to be a cakewalk for them. Like, let me not say nothing like that. It's going to be a walk.
Because, yes. If Saquon Barkley is under some curses, could happen. We've seen it before. They didn't need him in the Super Bowl, and they beat the brakes off of the Kansas City Chiefs. They, quite frankly, I mean, like, if AJ Brown's not stepping up, Devontae Smith is going to have a 150-yard game and 2 touchdowns. Like, they are so deep at every position. Like, they have Pro Bowlers at every single position. It's ridiculous. So Thursday Night Football is going to be I think it's going to be a bit of a showcase for the Eagles to kind of be like, hey, we're going to try and go for this again. We might try and go back to back. Gosh. And we're going to see, because Jerry Jones saying we traded Micah Parsons because we want to be able to stop the run better.
Well, good luck, because Jalen Hurts will go up there and just chuck it to A.J. Brown quite a few times.
And it's like, dude, good for you. They're still going to run roughshod on you. Like, the fact that there is not a Micah Parsons now to sniff out read options, what are you going to do when Jalen Hurts has the option to keep it? And the edge that you have stepping up next, who frankly is just not Micah Parsons, is not able to recognize.
Not even just that. It's the fact that now Dallas does not have somebody that requires a double team. Because let's be honest, who are you actually scared of on that Dallas defense?
Nobody.
Exactly. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to run duos. We're going to go straight at Kenny Clark. We're going to push all y'all back. We're still going to run it down your throat. And then when you start having to crowd the box, now we're going to go over the top.
Mm-hmm. Tale as old as time. You use the run game to open up the pass game. Now, we talked about the Eagles beating the brakes off of the Kansas City Chiefs. Now the Chiefs have the opportunity to rebound here in Sao Paulo, Brazil. It's an exciting time. NFL is going to Brazil. How fun. Now, Kansas City kind of got pissed off this offseason and did a lot of good work that I don't think a lot of people noticed necessarily. And I love the Jim Harbaugh Chargers quite a bit. And I love the Jim Harbaugh Chargers with Amari and Hampton. Like, that's going to be ridiculous because Jim Harbaugh loves running the ball. He loves running the football more than most coaches. Amari and Hampton is going to feed. If you haven't had your fantasy draft already, first of all, what are you doing? Second of all, get Amari and Hampton. What are your thoughts on Sao Paulo? KC technically is the visitor against the Chargers.
The NFL scriptwriters will not let Kansas City lose on the first game when Travis Kelce Swift is just coming in as an engaged man. They are not going to lose this game, and that is because of that. Now, if they do lose the game, it's because we are going to see a Harbaugh masterclass in controlling the game in the trenches. That's what I really want to see, is that Chargers offensive line. Yes, I know they lost Slater for the year, but I really want to see the battle in the trenches between the Chargers offensive line and the Kansas City Chiefs defensive line, because that's going to be where this game is going to be won or lost. But in the name of the NFL scriptwriters, with most likely Taylor Swift going to be in the audience, I'm giving this to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, it's hard to go against them because they are just one of the most efficient teams we've seen since the Patriots, since the Belichick Patriots and the Brady Patriots. They don't make backbreaking mistakes. Like, they just don't. They don't give up a bad play on third down hardly ever, offensively or defensively. Like, they are just good and well coached.
One thing we also have to mention: no Rashee Rice for the first 6 games. So that's one less pass catcher for Patrick Mahomes.
Is Patrick Mahomes still playing quarterback?
Yeah,
they're fine. They're fine. They could roll out plumbers at receiver, and Mahomes would find a way to do it. It's annoying. It's very frustrating. Let's talk about a game that just is going to be fun. I cannot wait for Sunday Night Football. Baltimore going to Buffalo.
Yeah, this is probably a preview. This is probably a preview for like either the AFC divisional matchup or the AFC championship.
Hopefully championship. Hopefully the seeding works out to where this is the championship. I'm like, man, Baltimore, if it's not this year, and I know I say this all the time with the Ravens. I say this every season with the Ravens. If it's not this year, it's not happening. They've just got a really good team. And I love the Malachi Starks pick so much. Like, that allows just like their defense to function in a way that they were able to find last year, but not fully lean into because of their lack of safety depth. Like, Eddie Jackson was terrible. Malachi Starks coming in really changes that defense for me because their front seven's fantastic. No notes, didn't need to change anything with that. It was their secondary that was a huge, huge issue. They were able to make some adjustments midway through the season that kind of masked some issues. But man, getting that safety pick in the first round with Malachi Starks to pair alongside Kyle Hamilton, I love it. And then Buffalo's interesting to me because they did tie up a little bit of money with Allen's contract extension. They also freed up a little bit of money with that extension as well because cash over cap, everyone's taking notes, especially with their quarterback contracts. They're like, they have to, because if you just eat a quarterback contract straight up with the cap hits, you'll never be able to build a roster around it. So void years, always. The rest of the roster, though, is starting to take shape in an interesting way, I guess is the best way to say it, because their pass rush is still like, it's just Rousseau. It's literally still just Rousseau. And yeah, it'll be fun to have Matt Milano back. It'll be fun to see if Maxwell Harrison can get on the field and what they have in that corner. Not really sure what's going on with bringing in a whole bunch of aging veteran pieces, though.
I get that. But at the end of the day, just like you said with Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, as long as you got Josh Allen running that offense, the Buffalo Bills will be fine. But I am interested to see if the addition of Joey Bosa to that line can help kind of establish that pass rush a little bit more. Because if you look at it on paper, or if you call it what I call the Madden ratings, where you just go by the name of it, on paper, they should be a lot better at getting to the quarterback. So it's a good time to check it now, but you got a heck of a running attack in Baltimore coming.
Bad opponent to check it against. Like, that's the thing. Like, if you're going to see what you have in a pass rush, Lamar Jackson's the last quarterback you want to test yourself against. Like, that guy evades sacks better than anyone, better than most running backs.
Yep, and they don't have to worry about Isaiah Likely, getting 3 toes out of bounds. So
you had to bring that up for the Baltimore fans.
Of course.
See,
I'm equal opportunity.
That's how Sao Paulo is going to go. There's going to be like Lad McConkey is going to have like a foot out of bounds. It's like some ridiculous thing. The ball's going to wobble and they're going to call it incomplete. Something's going to happen.
And I'm also happy that the NFL finally learned their lesson from last year and didn't pick teams that have green in it, because apparently that's a thing that you can't be in a sports arena wearing green in Brazil.
You cannot. No, and last year, the fact that they did the 2 greenest teams. No. I mean, it would have been, I guess so. 2 greenest teams. We got one more game to talk about, but before we get to that, let's get our predictions for who wins Sunday Night Football. I'm going with Buffalo in a shootout here.
I'm going with Buffalo. I think here's the thing. I know they're going to make the playoffs, but I think the window has officially closed on the Baltimore Ravens.
Really?
Yes. I feel like, as much as it's going to pain me to say this, Lamar Jackson is going to have a career very similar to Aaron Rodgers, where he's going to have multiple MVPs, but he won't be able to make it much with the big one. At least Aaron got a ring. I don't even think Lamar is going to get one. And if he were to, this is probably the last opportunity.
No, I think you're right. It's unfortunate, and there's not many like players in the AFC, quarterbacks, I should say. There's not many quarterbacks in the AFC that we get to see even get that opportunity. It feels like we've been dying to see Josh Allen in the Super Bowl. We've been dying to see Lamar Jackson in the Super Bowl. We've gotten to see at least Joe Burrow in the Super Bowl. That's the only bit of variety we've really, really had.
Buffalo is just dying to see a Super Bowl.
Aren't those fans just, they deserve the world. I love them. They're so great. And I feel so bad for them. One more game, Monday Night Football. We're talking about it because I'm selfish. Minnesota coming on down to Soldier Field to take on Ben Johnson's Chicago Bears. I'm so nervous for this game on like so many levels, because if Caleb Williams isn't what I hope and what every single Bears fan hopes that he is, or if the offense ends up being the same old Bears, I'm really going to start to wonder how cursed we are, because it has been, we got the like consensus number 1 overall quarterback, like generational talent. We got the guy in Ben Johnson, like the most looked after head coach candidate of the last few cycles. Like I truly feel like he waited until the Bears job was open to take it. And if it doesn't work, I'm going to be like, this team is cursed. This team is truly, truly cursed. But I'm excited to see what happens against Minnesota. I'm excited to see Ben Johnson versus Brian Flores. Like, that's just a fun, like offensive mind versus defensive mind matchup. Obviously, Minnesota is going to bring a lot of really exotic blitzes. So we're going to see how well the interior of the Bears offensive line can hold up. It's been completely revitalized in free agency. I'm worried about the tackles. God, am I worried about our tackles still. Darnell Wright, I got to see it this year. I really got to see it this year. There's been some flashes of like, okay, maybe we got a real cornerstone right tackle. I still don't know who's going to be playing left tackle. They subbed through Braxton Jones and Ozzie Trapillo and, oh gosh, the kid from Canada. What is his name? I'm completely blanking on him. The Canadian Eagle. Oh no.
You lost me on that one. But I will tell you this. You act like we haven't seen Ben Johnson versus Brian Flores when Johnson was offensive coordinator in Detroit. I'm going to tell you what the real two keys of this game is going to be for the Chicago Bears. One, can Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson cohabitate together? Like, can they work together? Because from the little bit of time and the little bit of interviews I have seen during training camp when it comes to Ben Johnson, he seems to be more of a you need to fit my system kind of coach.
Oh yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that, so long as you win. But I have seen plenty of coaches that have that same mantra, and they don't make it past year 2 or year 3 at the latest. So we need to see how that works. And then with Caleb Williams, how are you going to handle submitting yourself to Ben Johnson's offense? Because from what I hear, it sounds like he's having a bit of a struggle being under center. You'll know this better than I do. You're the one who watches him, and I see the nodding, so I'm assuming this is true.
He never ran an under center offense. This is the first time he's done it.
I know. So there's going to be some growing pains there. So that's key number 1. Key number 2, you're worried about the tackles. Javon Hargrave, Jonathan Grenard, Ivan Pace Jr., Andrew Van Ginkel. And I'd be more worried about Van Ginkel because I see this man just like rush you and then pick you off and go straight to the house.
It's ridiculous. Like the way he's able to really sell a power rush and then drop back and cover a flat. I'm like, that's not fair. That's not fair.
So it's going to be your tackles and it's going to be your quarterback. That's what's really going to dictate whether or not you win. And I'm mad that we're not showing love to the fact that we get to finally see J.J. McCarthy in a regular season game.
I was going to bring him up. It'll be interesting.
I can't wait for that one.
I'm really excited to see what Dennis Allen does to old J.J. McCarthy because the Bears defense, and this is the other thing. This is why there's been a lot of like, oh, Caleb's been struggling. He's been inconsistent. He's playing against the Bears defense, and not for nothing, they have a good roster, and now they have a good coach. And Matt Eberflus had the Bears defense playing well, not for nothing. They were a top defense at times, and so I'm extremely excited to see Dennis Allen's defense. It'll be really fun to see JJ McCarthy because he's such an unknown. Even like limited college starts, we have not seen him in the pros. What an unknown. And even to an extent, Caleb Williams is an unknown. And that's truly why I put this game on here is because this is the game of, do we have a guy for both teams? And it's so ridiculous to put that on them for week 1. We have to let the season play out. And Caleb had a solid rookie season. One of the better, I think the best rookie season a Bears quarterback has ever had. So do with that what you will.
Yes, but I will say he also got the Daniel Jones treatment of playing 1 year and then your head coach gets fired.
He should have been fired before. Like you should have brought in Ben and Caleb in the same year. And I think that Ben would have taken the job if it was available because he waited. He waited for the job to become available. That's all I got from Monday Night Football. We got a few more games. We got, Lions at Packers. That'll be really fun to see. Bengals get an easy one taking on the Browns. Bucks at Falcons, always fun. And your Giants have to play the Commanders, which will be interesting.
Listen, we get to finally debut this pass rush that everybody has been talking about. And I can't wait to see how that goes.
It's going to be ridiculous.
I'm more excited to finally see us have a productive offense for the first time in like 6 or 7 years.
Truly.
So
no. I'm excited for when Jackson Dart takes over, truthfully. I love that guy.
I think it's going to happen within I think it's going to be after this initial stretch of games, which, by the way, for my Giants, I'm going to say it. There's a chance we could go 3-0 in the first 3 games. And here's why I say that. 1, Terry McLaurin is coming into this game cold because of his holding. 2, Dallas don't got Micah Parsons no more. And I'm not really scared of their offense. And 3, Patrick Mahomes has shown if you could get in his face consistently he kind of folds like Tom Brady.
He does not do well under pressure.
So, and by the way, again, Rashee Rice isn't playing. So that's one less receiver we got to worry about. So there is a good chance that we go either 3-0 or 2-1 in the first 3 games of this grueling schedule that we have.
It's brutal. God, it's brutal. I think I like it. I think I like the Giants to have a lot of fun this year. That's all we got for you. That's week 1. Football's back. We're keeping it short, sweet, and simple. We're trying to keep these around 30 minutes moving forward. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you're following on all platforms, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Threads. I think that's a thing. All of them.
We're still on Threads?
I don't even know if I'm not. So you tell me. Thank you so much for watching. That is Justin. This is Kyle. It has been so great hanging out with y'all talking about football. We're back, and we'll see you in a week to talk about all things that happened in week 1 and all things that will happen in week 2. Until then, peace.